Hey there, just heading to one of the two estate sales we're going to hit today. Look at some vintage and retro toys and games and books. Going up to the first one right now.
It's a nice neighborhood.
That house was too fancy. Well, no, it wasn't too fancy. It was a super cool house, but It was mostly like large paintings. Went downstairs and there was like a huge bookshelf, but it was books about painting. And there was lots of cool like vases. What would you call it? Like things that just look neat. I don't know. It was like fancy. Yeah, no, like big things that you would put on a shelf and go, that must be like a Ming vase, or like, it's just stuff that looks, anyway. Right. There was like a lot of neat stuff there, but nah. All right, just drove to the next town over to another estate sale. Let's see if this one's any better or this is gonna be a super short video. That turned out to be worth it. It was, the guy that does these sales, I enjoy him because the way he sets it out, and he's told me this in the past, or kind of told me over a period of time, most places you go to, it's like they have the room that's like Christmas decorations, and then here's the room that's gonna have the clothes in it, and then here's the room that's gonna have toys. He just kind of goes, this is where the stuff is, and just shuffles them into piles. And he said it's because that way people can discover things. So I can find a book that's in the laundry room. You know, it's just because that's where it was. Instead of going, these have to be here and then pricing them. It's kind of like walking into a hoarder house and you dig and find some stuff. So I enjoy his place. Plus, he's always very nice and always is kind of like, his attitude on it is,
buy it or don't buy it.
Yeah, buy it or don't buy it. I don't care. I got another one of these next week. Like, he's been doing it so long. He's like, sometimes instead of setting up and counting all of our stuff, he'll just go, I don't know, $25. And it's like, okay. So we found some stuff today, and let's gonna head home and take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at some of the things we got in the $10 box thing. This one is called a Dressy Bessie from Play School. But the whole concept of it is these dolls had like buttons and fabrics and different types of snaps and ties and everything on them to help kids learn how to dress. So Dressy Bessie, and then there was Dapper Dan, which that was a weird name for the other one. Like Dapper Dan, that's like 1940s or something. Anyway, these aren't from the 1940s. I just like how I'm shaking it at the camera. And along with that, we found a bunch of Cabbage Patch doll balls. So doll baby, doll balls, and they're doll heads. So eventually, along with the whole Cabbage Patch craze that was going on, it was basically like, it was the same doll for every single one of them, just a different head. And after a while, there were unpopular dolls. There were dolls that were more popular. And then they just started going, here, put whatever head you want on it. You could buy a doll head. We got like 4 of these. They're still in the box. They even have the original Prangy Way price tag on them. So, head in a box. There you go. This one, I'm afraid that maybe it's not gonna have all the pieces, but we'll see. It's a puppy puzzle, and it's got a sad-eyed puppy illustration. And it's super cool, but it was on a bookshelf and it was sitting like this. So I pulled it out. The pieces happen to be tiny because there's 500 interlocking pieces in here, and they all fell out. So hopefully they're all in here. I don't know. We'll see. But there was a copy of My Bodyguard, the book based on the 1970s movie. A whole set of illustrated children's books, but these are Arch books. I've had a couple of them, and what they are is they're life lessons and Bible stories. Arch Books is actually a children's publishing company, children's book publishing company, but they're all evangelical themed and Christianity themed. They're all religiously themed, like based on the Bible and teaching kids lessons, and it's a whole series, but they have really neat artwork in them. An illustrated pictorial encyclopedia of American history. Marmaduke paperback book. This is the old Marmaduke back when he was really more of, when it wasn't as much about his owners, when it was more about Marmaduke. Also a mostly unused Goofy coloring book. 1977 paper doll book, all still intact. So they're 1977 throwbacks to vintage paper dolls. So it's a vintage paper doll book about vintage paper dolls. So kind of meta. My daddy's crazier than a barrel full of monkeys, and my old lady, she don't care. Old Viewmaster. A Fisher-Price Little Mart. Car wash thing swinging there. This needs to be cleaned up, but it's an old Aladdin, like camping or lunch thermos. And the inside's actually really good, really clean. So outside just needs to be cleaned up a little. Cool little stripe on it though too. A space-themed arithmetic game right there. Board and cards and stuff. Take a look at that one later. And a Green Goblin fractions game. And it just fell out. Oh, they had a craft hat. It was just sitting in the garage. That's what I was telling you. His stuff is just like, it's just randomly placed. And out in the garage, perfectly good craft hat. What a weird thing to have. Parker Brothers Hurry Up Marble Game. Another edition of the Book of Careers, which we have one that's from an earlier edition, and this one looks like it might be the 70s. The other one we have is from the 60s. Castle blocks. So a box, the bottom of this box is wooden inside here, and you set up the castle like this on the inside. Clue, always a favorite. Concentration. This game, I actually just shipped one out yesterday, so it was nice to find another one. The Christmas game, which, who knows what this one's about? Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. It looks like it says it's actually about shopping and shipping things out for Christmas. I mean, that's basically what my life is right now. Not sure what this is. It's called a Play Skills Kit. Inside, it's got a bunch of, like, blocks that have pictures in them. They're like clear plastic blocks, and they're books and stuff. So who knows? But the case is like a doll, or like one of those cases you would put your Hot Wheels cars in. You got a little handle in it and stuff, but it's just bulging over. Weird. This is where we went and what we got.